The short squeeze is finally here, the one that we've warned about just over 2 weeks ago in our weekly video. The stock market has gone from oversold conditions to overbought conditions. Now the bears have some very important levels to defend if they want to keep this bear market alive. Guys, this is what we're going to discuss in today's video. There's some very crucial levels that the bears have to defend this week if they want to keep the bear market alive. We'll go through both the technical and fundamental analysis of the stock market. And also, guys, if you are into cryptocurrencies, we have some very important things to show you in our Bitcoin analysis right at the end. So if you do enjoy that, guys, make sure you stick until the end of the video, because there's something crucial that you guys need to see if you are into cryptocurrencies. And guys, just before I start, if you do enjoy today's video, please give it a like. It does help us a lot, guys. So just hit that like button. If you do enjoy today's video and you find it useful, then do share it with anyone else that may also find it useful. And guys, if you are new to our channel, we do bring out the latest stock market analysis outlook every single Monday morning, so do subscribe to our channel for more useful videos like this. Now guys, before I go into further analysis, I just want to show you this chart over here. This is the NASDAQ 100. This is the daily chart. Now, all I've done here, I looked at the previous rally that we've had in 2022. And guys, can you see that the last rally, the last oversold rally that we've had in 2022, which was the biggest rally of the year, was actually from June until August, and it was 24.47%. And guess what? The rally that we've had since the beginning of the year, guys, is 23.6%. Now, those rallies, they look fairly similar in size, and it may suggest that we are approaching some sort of top in the NASDAQ, guys, which will be very, very interesting. Now, what I want to show you here as well is I wanted to show you the NASDAQ, the Apple chart. Guys, we talked about this level in our previous videos, and guess what, guys? So the inverse head and shoulders has played out beautifully, and the NASDAQ is approaching a key area here. The bears, guys, they have to defend this area no matter what. They have to defend this trend line here with their lives if they want to see more downside. If we start to see more downside in Apple, guys, most probably we'll start to see more downside in the broader stock market as well, on indices as well. And as we are on that, guys, let me just show you this, which is I found very, very interesting, guys. This is the year-to-date heat map of the S&P 500, and can you see that we've had a massive rally since the beginning of the year? But guess what? That rally was led by defensive stocks, by the large cap companies: Microsoft, Apple, Google, Meta, Amazon, and Nvidia, and also Tesla. Those companies, guys, led the rally. Can you see there's a lot of red here on the screen? There's a lot of red here on the screen. So it's not that we've had a rally and everyone participated in it. No, just the large companies participated in it. Why was that the case? Well, mainly because this is a defensive play. So if we have a recession, if we had a lot of news about the banks, where can we go to hide? In those stocks here. Those are some safer stocks to hide in. Now guys, those stocks, they cannot just go up forever, okay? So they will, once we start seeing some pullback in those large companies, most probably we'll start to see a big pullback in the S&P 500 and in the broader stock market in general. So be very careful. Okay, look at even Nvidia here had an 87% rise since the beginning of. That's not healthy, guys. Okay, so we will see a pullback. It just cannot go up. So be very careful. Once those companies are starting to get some sort of downside, okay, and bad news, and when we talk about bad news here, guys, earnings are coming at the end of the month for those companies. Oof. Be very careful, guys. Okay, bad earnings, okay, will sink those companies. That is very dangerous, guys. Okay, now Before we go into more technical analysis, let's just look at what are the important news to be aware of for the week. Now guys, we do have some news more or less every day. The most important news comes in on Friday, when the stock market and major stock markets are closed for the day. So the non-farm payrolls will come in on Friday at 1:30 p.m. UK time, and we have a prediction here of 238 jobs added. Now every single month we've started adding jobs. We had an upside potential, so a downside potential here, or perhaps a negative number that will indicate that a recession is coming, and that will most probably have a negative impact on the stock market. Okay, so even though the stock market will be closed on Friday, guys, because of Good Friday, be aware of this news here. Okay, most probably not a lot of impact on the charts, but just be aware of that. Now let's start doing the technical analysis, and let's start off by looking at the S&P 500. Now guys, on the S&P 500, as we've mentioned, we completely and 100% smashed the call that we've made a couple of weeks ago, right here, when we were looking for a nice bounce here to go up and clear the liquidity that was resting above this area. Now this target has now been 100% achieved. We are now approaching this daily IC here, and I'm looking at the body of the IC as a target for now. Now guys, if we zoom into a 4-hour time frame here, guys, we are in this 4-hour IC that we discussed previously. Now right above here, guys, we have some very clean liquidity area that you may like to be grabbed before retracing lower. Now we've actually opened, guys, we've opened with a gap. And we haven't yet filled the gap. So one trade would be for this gap to be filled, okay, and then we have to see what price wants to do. Does it want to retrace back lower, clear the liquidity here, then come back into an IC, then we can like to short from, or is it going to fill the gap and then carry on going higher? Now guys, one thing to note is that we had the previous gap all the way from February. This gap was resistance, and now it may act as support, so be very careful. If you want to go short, all you want to do is you want price to go through this gap and then this gap to act as resistance. But as it stands, price has managed to break above, act as support, and now it's supporting prices for a run higher. Now we are in extreme levels, and we are getting some divergences as price is going higher. So even though we are going higher, guys, we're not going higher with a lot of momentum. So the things that we'll be watching for this week is see what price does in here, see this liquidity zone here. Is it going to be grabbed? And if it is grabbed, what is price going to do after that? We do have another clean liquidity zone over here as well, guys, so be on guard. Now all I'll be watching, okay, is this, what price does within this IC in here. Is price going to come here, consolidate, or is it going to go through it? And if it goes through it, guys, where is it going to go? To clear this liquidity here. And if it goes up higher to clear this liquidity at some point, at any point during this week, that's going to be crucial. Why? First of all, we'll be above the upper expected move for the week, and we may come into this gap over here. We may come into this gap, consolidate, and that's your indication to go short. So that is going to be a very, very important level. And if I was a market maker, I would actually take the price higher. At this point, if price goes here, clears the liquidity, at this point, everyone will be bullish. Everyone and their mother will be bullish at this point. And that's when we should be looking for long-term selling opportunities. But as it stands, guys, monitor this. This will be the first area to monitor. And if it does happen that we get a nice retrace from here, then watch this level here, watch the gap. This looks very bullish, guys. Okay, so don't try to short it without seeing some sort of break of structure on a smaller time frame for now. Even here on the 4-hour time frame, we're not seeing divergences yet. So I would like to see price going higher, perhaps clearing the liquidity there, and then creating a bearish divergence. That will give me more of a confirmation to look to short. As it stands, this looks very, very bullish, guys. Next, we get the UK 100. Now, this has reached our target beautifully here. Now, I did talk about in previous videos, guys, and if you haven't watched the videos, go back and watch them. We were looking to buy here and target this liquidity here. I did talk about this level being way too clean not to be taken out, and that was beautifully taken out last week. Now, guys, this looks very bullish, and we're also having we just got a buy signal here, and previous times we got a buy signal on the UK 100 and the FTSE 100. This has resulted in big rallies. Now, there's something here, so we need to go back on this 4-hour time frame. We are in this 4-hour IC, and we said that we want to see some sort of consolidation here to go short. Now, guys, if price goes through this level here, okay, we do have some clean liquidity zone here that may be grabbed before pulling lower. If price goes through it and goes higher, the next target, guys, will be this daily IC. If we do see some consolidation on this 4-hour time frame here, then we can take a short and aim, guys, aim for all the way back below this IC in here. Okay, that will be a long-term trade that may as well play out beautifully. Okay, but that will be a long-term trade. For now, watch this 4-hour IC. Are we going to see some consolidation? We are getting pretty overbought in here. Okay, so if price goes up higher, perhaps watch what price does after it clears those liquidity zones. Okay, you may consolidate and then go back lower to try and clear some more liquidity areas before going higher. But this is on a straight line. We've had a higher high, we need to have a higher low at some point if we are to see more upside, guys. We can't just go up in a straight line. Be careful with that. Next, we get the DAX in here, and guys, the DAX is basically cleared the liquidity that was resting above here and above here. Now, the next and ultimate target, and is the target that we've been talking for a while on this, is this weekly IC here, sitting at 12,850 or so. Oh, it's 830 or so. And that would be the ultimate target where I can see this move actually going. The MACD is pretty overextended at this point as well. We are starting to see negative divergences building on the daily, and that's quite powerful, guys. So we may see, I think we are due for some sort of, pullback at some point in the near future. Now, be very careful with this, guys. Don't short without some clear and obvious pullbacks or some reasons to do so. What I'm looking for in here, I'm looking at this 4-hour trend line, guys. So if we do see a pullback, you want to see a break of this trend line and then retest, and then that will give you more confirmation that we are going lower. Now we are starting to see here on the 4-hour time frame, we are starting to see we're getting negative divergences and a sell signal. So that may indicate that we will see a pullback very shortly on this. We've just cleared that liquidity and we are consolidating. That's exactly what you want to see for a shorting opportunity. And the target, if you do short at any point here, okay, should be this trend line for now. Now, actually, if you go on a 1-hour time frame, guys, we do have here very cleanly this liquidity zone in here. So as an ultimate target for now would be this 1-hour liquidity area here at sitting at 12,240 or so. So that would be the ultimate target for now. Then we have to reanalyze and see where price wants to go from there. And guys, just bear in mind we may have some more upside here. Okay, I think the upside is limited, but for the short squeeze to be to be complete. They may want to squeeze more bears in before and obviously get more bulls into this rally before they pull the trigger down. I believe that we will get to at least this 1 hour target at some point in April, guys. Either it's going to be at the beginning or when we get earnings, but that will definitely happen in April. We are getting way too overextended here, so we do need a pullback for sure. US 30, guys, what's happening over here? We are right. We've had a beautiful reaction out of this daily IC, and we are right in this daily IC over here. Now, guys, we are at a very important level. We are getting also, okay, close to extreme overbought levels. And we also have, if we go to this 4 hour time frame here, guys, getting some divergences that are also building here on the 4 hour time frame. So a lot of reasons to say that we will see a pullback at some point this week. Now, I do have this trend line over here, so as a first target, I will have this trend line to take profits at, and if we do see a break of this trend line, then we'll look for a retest, and then we can perhaps short more. But be very careful on this, guys. Don't just jump in. Look for some sort of break of structure. Now, clearly here, guys, clearly we can see divergences are building higher high, higher high, higher high, and then a lower high there. So we're getting clear divergences here, which are, you know, telling us that a pullback is due very soon. Look for some sort of break of structure for more downside potential. But as it stands, guys, I'm sure we will see a pullback. We are in this daily IC. Very importantly, monitor how this how Monday will close, Monday, Tuesday, for more perhaps downside here, for some sort of turnaround signal. The price may want to go lower. Otherwise, we may just clear that liquidity. If we do go higher, clear the daily liquidity here and into this daily IC here, where if we don't see a pullback by then, here we'll definitely see a pullback. Before, as I mentioned before wanting to go, you know, higher. I do think we will clear the liquidity sometime in April for sure. So your target, your ultimate target for April, if you do short at any point this month, I think, you know, in my opinion, it should be right below this zone here. We are targeting this daily IC here as an ultimate target. We would like to go perhaps long from, but as it stands, you know, just play what the chart in front of you. This looks very bullish, but you don't want to be buying over here. You want to be buying on some sort of pullback, guys. As it stands, this is due for a nice pullback. The NASDAQ, now we've discussed the NASDAQ before. The NASDAQ has also opened with a gap and is right about to clear the liquidity that is resting above this level here. Now there's two things that I'm watching on here, guys. Now ultimately, and this will be a long-term trade, guys. Something that I've noticed this morning is, can you see how those highs over here are so clean? Those are actually the no, not these ones, those ones here, can you see those equal highs? They are so clean here, guys, and this is the rally that we had back in March last year, and that's where the big pullback started from. So definitely, I think at some point in 2023, this will we will get here. We will get here, guys. And if we do have a nice pullback on the NASDAQ, so this level here is what, 15,300 or so. So if we do have some pullback in the NASDAQ, clearing some liquidity here and here at some point during the year, there will be a nice buying opportunity, guys, for a long-term trade with that take profit at around 15,300. Not now. Now is not the time to buy, guys. Okay, you be very careful here, because we've had, as I've mentioned in the previous chart, we've had an extended pullback, an extended rally here, and we are due for a pullback. Where can we have the pullback? Well, first of all, I would like the liquidity zone here to be cleared. We're so close to it, so might as well just clear that. If we do start to see some sort of consolidation, now if we do clear this, then at that point we will be what? Perhaps overbought and with negative divergences on an 8-hour time frame. And that's very powerful, guys, and that's definitely due for a nice pullback. after that. So I will be looking for some consolidation after this is taken, and then perhaps look to short the NASDAQ at that point. I will also be looking at this 4-hour trend line here. Now this trend line, we had a nice pullback from it. We did came back here, try to retest it. So see if this will act as some sort of resistance here, because if it does, and we also get the sell signal, then that's your confirmation to go short, where clear that liquidity. Can you see how clean that is? Definitely a nice target for now. Next, guys, we get the VIX. Now normally, okay, when the VIX gets so low into the 18 and 19s, we are due for a spike in the VIX, and if we do see a spike in the VIX, then we will get the downside in the S&P 500 and on the other indices. Now guys, the VIX is very low. Watch for, first of all, a close above 20 and a stay up above 20, continuation above 20. If that happens, that will be your extra argument to go short in the S&P 500. As long as the VIX is not able to go above, then it means that there's more upside in the S&P 500, and if there is so, then you know the levels to watch for where the upside can potentially slow down and reverse from. So watch the VIX, guys. If the VIX does go and clear that liquidity here at some point this week, then you are building more and more cases there to go short in the S&P 500. Again, guys, I think we'll have one big leg lower before we can buy perhaps long term. Okay, so don't think that that's it, I've missed my chance, let me just go in now so I can catch some sort of move because we're going to all-time highs. No, that's not the case, in my opinion, just yet. I think we'll have one leg lower before being able to buy long term. Next, guys, we get the DXY here, and the DXY has had what? Even though the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ, they've been rallying, the DXY did what? It just consolidated in this daily IC here. Exactly what we've been discussing over the last couple of weeks. Now, it's very important that we go up here, get a close above, and then we get some continuation here for more downside in the S&P 500. If that doesn't happen, guys, and the DXY moves in lower and closes below this daily IC, very important, if it closes below this daily IC, then I believe we can go even lower, all the way down to 98.5. Okay, so very importantly, guys, watch that. That's going to be very, very importantly there. The DXY. With the DXY comes in gold. What's been happening on gold? Nothing much. We've been just consolidating where at this daily IC here, guys. Now, all I'm watching for now is whether to see whether the DXY wants to move in, gold wants to move in higher into this 4-hour IC where we can potentially get the short, or does it want to come back into this daily IC before going higher into this 4-hour IC. So those two levels I'm watching for now. There's not much to do. We may get a sell signal, but that's not confirmed yet, guys. Okay, so be careful on that. Now, Bitcoin, and guys, just before I go into the analysis of this, I'm going to show you this over here. Not this one over here. This is a statement from that I've read I think last week. So it says here that the US government is one of the largest holders of Bitcoin in the world. The US government holds over 205 Bitcoins, which is over 1% of the supply. Okay, this makes the US government the 7th largest holder of Bitcoin in the world after those guys. Guys, that's big. That is very big. What does that mean? What does it mean, guys? It means that Bitcoin will never go down to zero. The US government will not allow that to happen. So, you know, if people say that Bitcoin is gone, is going to go down to zero, that's not going to happen. That is not going to happen because the US government has a lot of interest into it. How did they acquire that? Well, they acquired these Bitcoins, guys, through seizures from criminal cases. including those cases in here. So they seized a lot of Bitcoin and now they are the holders of it. That do they want to get them to 100,000, 500, a million, so they can, you know, expand and sell those and get so much money from it? I think they do. Okay, not in the short term, but in the long term. So it will definitely go up to 100, 500,000 and so on. Okay, that's a long term. That's not how it's going to happen tomorrow. Okay, but bear that in mind. Any pullbacks that we get, guys, and in terms of pullbacks, what are we targeting? Now we are getting overbought here, not overbought, but we're getting negative divergences, perhaps a sell signal, and coming into this daily IC. So if we do get to this daily IC, guys, very importantly, okay, see some consolidation here. I think we can go all the way down, clear that liquidity and this liquidity resting here, and from there, you know, we can build up a bullish scenario long term. Okay, so be on guard on that. I don't think it's just gonna go straight up, guys. Okay, I think that's very unlikely. Anything can happen, obviously, but if we start to see some sort of pullback in the NASDAQ, I think you will take most probably take Bitcoin with it down. That's pretty much it from me, guys. Thank you very much for watching. If you are new to trading and would like to learn more about the trading strategies that we use, then feel free to go over to our website, mcitradingacademy.co.uk, where you can find out more about the one-to-one mentoring courses that we offer, and you can also join our free Discord community. Thank you very much, guys, and I hope you have a great trading week.